All right, good Monday morning, everybody. It's a short week. All right, we're going to talk about nonfiction and just review just some of the things that we've done this year with nonfiction. And I want to share with you this notice and note strategy. So if you click on this page, you'll see some notes. And these 5 different strategies are really helpful. It's kind of like the different elements that we talked about at the beginning of the year when we saw, numbers and statistics, and we saw definitions, or we saw different things that help us recognize that it is a nonfiction text. So this first section of the notes is contrast and contradictions. And this is where when you notice something that there's a difference between what you know is happening, or there's a difference or a compare and contrast, or something that's opposite. So you want to ask, what is this difference and why does it matter? So you'll see things like alternatively, or by contrast, or different, on the other hand, yet, but, unlike. These contrasts will help you understand what the author's purpose will be. It will also help you make some generalizations, notice cause and effect, things like that. You'll also see some extreme or absolute language, and these are words that leave no doubt, right? They push the limit, and they are kind of in your face. And so one of the things that you want to ask yourself is, why is the author using this language, and how does it show us their point of view and their purpose? What are they exaggerating? What are they trying to make us think? Then you have word gaps, and these are words that you might not know, or you think you know, but then the text kind of, um, clarifies these things for you. And so you obviously want to use context clues to try to figure it out. But ultimately, if they give you a different perspective of a word that you thought you knew, that would be something that you want to look at as well. And then, of course, numbers and statistics, right? What are these numbers for? What do they do? They make comparisons. They help you see certain details. They help you find facts or recognize evidence. And this also goes back to logos, right? It makes the author credible because they're giving you certain facts within these numbers and these statistics, right? And then the last one is quoted words. So it would be maybe somebody of authority, or a personal word, like perspective, or maybe they wrote something in the past that they wanted to quote. Ultimately, this kind of shows, again, author's purpose, point of view. It'll also show us maybe some of our own conclusions that we were thinking throughout, also give credibility, those kinds of things. So on this document, if you open it up, it's a graphic organizer to help you take some notes when you read today's article. So you can copy and paste some text as you see fit, but I want you to see if you could find all 5 of these things, right? So contrast and contradictions, where do you see some major contradictions? You will see them. The basis of the article is based on these contrasts and contradictions. You will see extreme or absolute language. Your text is really about a person who grew up as an Arab American, and just a lot of the different negative experiences that she's had, but also some of the beautiful experiences that she's had. You'll see numbers and statistics. You'll see quoted words. Some of them are personal, some of them aren't. And you might see some words that you're unfamiliar with because you might not have these experiences and be able to identify what these things are. So obviously I picked an article that I know we could practice with this. You will see examples of each of these. So you just click on the little boxes, you'll be able to take notes and copy and paste from the article. Okay, so the article is called This Is Not Who We Are. It's by Naomi Shaleem Nye, who is a poet that we would tend to study quite a bit. I think you actually might have read some of her poetry earlier this year. But it gives you context on who she is. She's actually from Texas. I believe she's from San Antonio. And she talks a little bit about her experiences with her Arab American identity. And so it's pretty short. There are certain, numbers of paragraphs. And then once you're done with that, and you can take notes on that graphic organizer that you opened, right, this one, you will have a short nonfiction reading quiz. And it is 4 questions, I believe. So there are 25 points each, and I strongly recommend that you have your copy of the article open in a new tab, so that way you can have it there when you're taking it, okay? And you do have a couple of attempts, but there are only 4 questions, so you want to make sure that you understand them. This is really good practice for your upcoming STAR in about a week and a half. remember, which unfortunately is a graduation requirement. All right, so this quiz today will serve as your attendance verification. Make sure you read and save the notice and note strategy for yourself. If you look at your week at a glance for this week, tomorrow we are starting a practice persuasive essay that we will finish by the end of the week, and it will be a major grade, so you need to make sure that you stay with me on every single second of this process. So we'll start our pre-writing. We'll talk a little bit about how to draft in 11 minutes, which is something that we need to do because nobody wants to spend a lot of time on drafting. But we also know that STAR test is limited on time. And then you'll finish it on Thursday before we get into our 3-day weekend, okay? And then next week, we will review a little bit about what this online STAR is going to look like as much as we can, especially those of you that are going to come in person to complete it. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a really great Monday, and hopefully we'll see you guys later on Zoom. All right, take care.